Welcome everybody, this is Chris Dwayne from Chris Dwayne SilverShieldCoins.com. Every week I release 2 new mini mintages that are available for 1 week only and tend to go up in price on eBay as collectibles. You can find them all over at Chris Dwayne SilverShieldCoins.com. Today I wanted to talk about how silver is at the very tip of a $2.5 quadrillion worth of Exeter's pyramid of liquidity. This pyramid shows all the asset values of all the assets on Earth and their relative strength and liquidity during a currency crisis. You're going to see that at the end of the day that all these digital illusions of wealth, that all the world's wealth is built off of a debt-based Ponzi scheme that is going to collapse into cash, gold, and then silver. And Silver Shield is at the very tip of silver. I am the silver maximalist. There's nobody else more bullish on silver than me. I am the one that's calling for unobtainium silver, sold out silver, silver jubilee, all sorts of things. That is going to be a paradigm shift back to a silver standard. I want to prepare everybody to hold on to your silver through to the end. Do not get priced out by dollar price targets or anything like that. They can print unlimited amount of money to chase after the very limited fine amount of silver that's left on the market, and the world is waking up, or at least China is. China now has a $9 premium over the Western markets of physical over paper silver. And I want to prepare everybody to hold on to the silver all the way through to the end. This is just the opening moments of a global hyperinflation. The whole world is based on a global generational debt-based fiat Ponzi scheme, and silver is the only way out. As I'm writing this, silver is at all-time highs of 88, and this is nothing compared to where it's going to in the end. Silver is at the center of the largest conspiracy on Earth. I would claim that it was a 2026-year conspiracy that the bankers have used ever since Jesus Christ cleared the temple of the money changers, and they paid 15 ounces of silver to crucify Jesus Christ. And for 2026 years, we've been living under this debt and death paradigm. All financial, political, technological, industrial, energy, and military power revolves around silver in one way or the other. And that silver manipulation is at the very core of money manipulation. That's at the core of everything. For years, silver has been manipulated down to give rise to its purchasing power of national currencies. The very nature of money has been manipulated with silver. Now there are hundreds of paper contracts manipulating every single physical ounce of silver on the market. Now we are seeing the end of this manipulation as China prints unlimited amount of money to soak up all the silver in the world. This is going to lead to a massive revaluation of silver against every asset on Earth. It is literally silver against the world. You must steel your mind and prepare yourself for the face-melting rise in silver as it rises against every asset on Earth. And what I'm preaching is that silver will be a single asset hyperinflation. This means that silver is going to rise above all other assets and all other currencies all at the same time, and nobody else will come close to it. This means that silver will soak up quadrillions of dollars worth of digital illusions of wealth as it chases after the very limited amount of silver. There's an estimated 3 to 5 billion ounces of silver relative to 8 billion people on Earth. That means that there's less than an ounce of silver per person on Earth if it was equally divided. And we know that there's many stackers here that follow me on my Twitter channel and YouTube that have millions of ounces of silver, which means that there's less per person as it goes on. Central banks and governments are going to print unlimited amount of money to keep this Ponzi pumping. They are the final lenders and spenders of this debt-based money, and it will chase after safety all the way down Exeter's pyramid into cash, gold, silver, and then eventually Silver Shield. Silver is going to absolutely destroy every other asset class. Silver's been up 9 months in a row. This has never happened before, and this is just the beginning of the end. Silver is going to crush Bitcoin, gold, dollar, and mining stocks. And for the record, I hate gold, Bitcoin, dollar, and the mining stocks, for they are all digital distractions of the only way out of this matrix. Gold is the gold to silver ratio is at a 1 to 56 gold to silver ratio right now, and I could see it going down to at least a 1 to 6 gold to silver ratio that the mining rate is. And that the above ground silver stock gold to silver ratio is 6 to 1, meaning that there's 6 times more gold above ground sitting in vaults doing nothing than the very precious miracle metal of silver that's used in industry and money. Bitcoin is an NSA-created U.S. government monetary bioweapon to track, trace, trap, and map all criminality. They'll use blockchain to track and trace all international money laundering, tax evasion, and will result in civil asset forfeiture. You are exposing yourself to the worst kind of threat with Bitcoin. The dollar, I can't say enough about it. The death of the dollar is based off of a debt-based monetary system where we're going to be now spending more in interest than the military budget. Mining stocks are another digital illusion of wealth that are there to distract you from stacking physical silver. People have to understand that when silver goes up, these silver mines are going to be taxed, regulated, strikes, coups, hijacking, nationalizations, and wars are going to be fought over these mines. Better to have the already mined silver than a promise in the ground backed by a digital illusion of wealth. They are all distractions from the only way out of the matrix. Silver will return to the top and become a new global silver standard. I am sure of this. China is already leading the way, and they're going to force it upon the world when they drive silver prices up through the roof. You must prepare not to get washed out at any dollar price target. No matter what the dollar price target is, don't get flushed out. You may think that selling out at $100 you'll be smart, but when it goes to 1,000 or 10,000 or 100,000 like it did in Venezuela, Weimar Germany, and Zimbabwe during a hyperinflation, and realize that this is a global generational Ponzi scheme, that all the governments are going to be doing the exact same thing. The euro, the yuan, the yen, the dollar, they're all just here to print more and more fiat, chasing after a limited amount of silver out there. Currencies and governments are going to collapse relative to silver. The goal is to hold through this inevitable collapse. For if you sell for fiat, your winnings will be destroyed with a hyperinflation. You may look good for a couple days, but you'll see that silver will only rip higher and higher. I am holding on my silver until after the collapse. Then you can simply borrow against your silver to buy income-producing assets that are probably on sale at fire prices at depression levels. This will be the largest transference of wealth the world will ever see, and you will bless me for doing this to you. I've been preaching this since 2011 when I first wrote the Silver Bullet and Silver Shield that was read by 440,000 people and translated into 7 different languages. If I only had my YouTube channel, The Greatest Truth Never Told, this story would have been over by now. I would have rallied all the forces on earth to get silver sold out globally and hold tight till the end. This silver jubilee is the only way to free humanity from the systemic, satanic slavery of usury. A complete collapse of the debt-based world will liquidate all power on earth. I believe that this is God's plan to make the first last and the last first. Silver will be the very means of the jubilee, and you must hold it through all the way to the end. Silver will be worth more than gold, I promise you. Silver has more industrial uses and more uses as money is throughout history, and that this manipulation has totally destroyed the value of silver, and the game is coming to an end rapidly. Those that hold silver through this collapse will be seen as kings on the other side, the wealthiest and wisest men on earth, a new nobility that will transcend all power on earth. That's where I think this is going. If you find this message powerful, please share it and like, comment, and follow me over at ChrisDwayneSilverShieldCoins.com, where I stack every week historical new Silver Shield MiniMintages for you to remember this. Thank you.